Hey guys, what's up? Bob here. So today I wanted to talk to you about PICA Season 3. Now, if you guys don't know what PICA is, it's the Pokemon International Championship Association. It is a tournament being held by, it's a group of guys, a couple of Belgian guys, and all sorts of, people from all over the place. It's very international. Got an international flair, let's say. But anyways, the idea here is that it's a draft style Pokemon tournament. So if you guys don't know what that is, basically every Pokemon in the game is divided into several tiers of based on usefulness in this sort of format, and then they're taken as like a draft pick. Now there's all sorts of stipulations in terms of like how you can pick and stuff, how many good things you're able to pick basically. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. It's one of my favorite ways to play Pokemon right now, is just to, be up against teams that have these draft picks. So I played in Season 2. I didn't do amazing. I ended up 6-5. I didn't make the playoffs. Almost did, but didn't quite. So ideally we'll be doing better than that. There are 16 teams this time, and I'm the captain of the Philly Shuckles. So what does that mean? Well, we're going to go ahead and check out the guys that I picked. Guys and gals. So we're just going to start with my franchise pick and just go in descending order of amazingness. And I'll tell you about why I picked them and stuff. So first off, Thundurus Therian was my franchise pick. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically you're able to franchise something that you used in a previous season. And basically that's just you tag it. I'm taking this before the draft even starts. I'm able to franchise something and claim it and have it for the next season. It costs some extra points for your free picks, but you do get that Pokemon on lock, which is really, really good. So I went with Thundurus Therian for that. He was my MVP last season. I didn't pick him up until about halfway through the season. I ended up using him 4 or 5 times, and he went 13-2 for me, which was just shy of being the league MVP. And like I said, I only had him for half the season. So this thing is absolutely beast. He's one of my favorite guys to use. So I wanted to, franchise the heck out of him and just keep him for my team. So I did. Now it costs 40 extra points plus the 180 that he would cost as a tier 1. But I think that's worth it, and it still gave me 180 points to work with for the rest of the picks, for my other 3 free picks. So I think it's definitely worth it. So next up, our Mega is Mega Manectric. Now, Manectric is a very, very versatile Mega. Even though he always pretty much runs the same set, you can use him in a lot of really interesting ways. He's got electric typing, which is nice. It obviously, it's the same typing as my Thundurus, but by the same token, Manectric is able to utilize that typing in a different way. He's ground-based, obviously, so he doesn't have the amazing flying type that doesn't really help Thundurus at all. But he's got interesting fire moves. He's got the Intimidate ability, which is really good for dealing with physical attackers. Basically, he's just really good for a lot of that sort of stuff. So I wanted to pick him up and just kind of have him. So I did. Next up, we've got Jirachi. Now, Jirachi was one of my favorite guys to use last season. He didn't have the best KD for me last season, but I took him to pretty much every game, and he was kind of my versatile. He has a couple of different moves. Obviously, Stealth Rock Access, U-Turn, Wish, and then, of course, Iron Head and Zen Headbutt with String Grace. He's just got a bunch of good moves that I really like being able to use. So I think he's probably my favorite tier 1. And if you look at some of the other stuff that's in tier 1, I think he's probably just a little bit more versatile than a lot of it. So for my tier 2, now this one was something that I didn't get exactly what I wanted. If you guys didn't, or I don't think I mentioned it yet, I wasn't actually able to be there for the draft. I gave all my picks to a friend of mine, one of the other coaches, Score Element, the coach of the Denver Dashers. And I said, okay, here's what I want, and I gave him all sorts of backups and stuff. I wasn't able to get my first choice, which was Rotom Wash. Robotnik is Sexy, the coach of the Squim Malamars, picked him up first. So I got my number 2 pick for that, Suicune, who's a very, very good Pokemon, like in pretty much any tier that it's allowed. This thing can easily sweep teams if they don't have like some sort of water absorb user. So yeah, Suicune is on my team. So for tier 3s, first one, this was one that I really put a lot of emphasis on. I wanted this, Heracross. He was either my first or second pick. I don't know which one went first, but Heracross is a Moxie sweeper. It also has access to Guts and stuff, but it's a physical attacker, and access to Moxie is one of my favorite things to have. I think it can easily just turn a game around. You can go from the brink of defeat to just winning. Click a button, just spam an attack, and then you just win. So I thought Heracross would be an amazing option for that. So I picked him up. I think that he's definitely going to be good. It's one of those things that everybody's going to have to prepare for because he's such a threat. If I can get 1 kill, then it can very easily turn into like 3 or 4 or 5. So, yeah. And my other tier 3, this one was kind of a weird one for me. I'm not sure if it was the best pick ever, but I have solid basis on why I picked it. Nidoqueen. Now, Nidoking had already been taken, but I think I would have picked well, maybe not. But I like Nidoqueen. Basically, what she's able to do, she's got good bulk. Her attacking stats are comparable to Nidoking's. She's got good typing, like in terms of poison, getting that fighting resistance stuff. And an amazing, amazing, amazing move pool that works really well with her sheer force ability. So I think she's going to be really good as just kind of a defensive pivot. I think that's going to be really handy for me. Next up, we have Rotom Mow, or Rotom Cut, or whatever. Now, this thing is my tier 4, and I don't know why this thing is tier 4, honestly. He's so good. Just Rotom forms in general have a lot of use to them because they've got good stats and, levitate ability, which is amazing. And decent move pool in terms of just like this. They don't get a ton of support moves, but they get the ones that matter. They get like Will-O-Wisp and Thunder Wave. They get Discharge. They get Volt Switch. They get a good stab move and whatever. Like I've got Leaf Storm. So yeah, it's a really good Pokemon. For my tier 5, I went with Golurk. Now, Golurk is another ground type. I ended up picking a lot of stuff that's weak to ice, honestly. But Golurk is something that I've used before, and I felt really confident using it as we move forward. So I picked it up, and the hope is that I'll just be able to use it effectively. Basically, like I said, I've used it before in pretty much every tier. I know exactly what it can do, what it can't do. So hopefully, and I can trade it off later if I need to, but hopefully I'll be able to effectively use it. So, that leaves me with my 3 free picks, which I had 180 points left to work with, and they're free as in they can be in any tier that you want, not they're free as in, they don't cost anything. I went with 3 tier 4s. I thought that would be the best use of the points that I had. I didn't want to, tier 4 has a lot of really, really good Pokemon, in my opinion, just in terms of, being able to take certain things that work really well. So I went with Sigilif, who I'm very, very confident in using as a defensive Pokemon. I love its Magic Guard ability, and I love the certain setup moves that it can do. So yeah, Sigilif is something I took. Zoroark is another one. Obviously a Dark type. He's a powerful Dark type, good special attack. And the illusion ability can be really, really nasty if your opponent isn't really thinking about it. And then my last pick, this was one that I was really shocked to see didn't go earlier, and it went undrafted last time until I picked it up in free agency. I picked up a Blaziken. Now, Blaziken is ordinarily banned because of the speed boost ability, but as long as I have Blaze on it, I'm good to go. And yeah, this thing is absolutely beastly. It's got amazing attacking stats, decent speed. The bulk isn't, great, but it's a starter, so it's there. Yeah, and offensive typing is just insane. Like, the only thing that's really comparable is Infernape, which is slightly faster but doesn't hit anywhere near as hard. And in a league format, defensive Pokemon are generally speaking very, very, very important. Blaziken is able to wall break like nobody's business, so I went with him. So that's my draft. I think it's pretty good. If we look around the league, I mean, everybody drafted pretty good, I think. But I think we did good enough that we can definitely pick up some wins. Um, Obviously, links to other people's YouTube channels and to the PICA spreadsheet will be in the description. I highly recommend you take a look at the PICA spreadsheet because it is pretty much your home for everything PICA. Nifty thing to look at. If you look at matches, I'm actually the first row in every week. Like the Philly Shuckles are the first thing you'll see. So that's really cool. Hopefully I'll win all my matches, but otherwise I'll feel silly being at the front of the line. But it'll make me really easy to find, so that's cool. My first week matchup is against the Indus Valley Infernapes. Then I'm up against the Detroit Magnetons. Then the DMR Shadow Absols. And that is, I think the Magnetons and the Absols are in my division. Yeah. So week 4, I'm up against the Transylvania Trevenants. Week 5, the Richmond Rayquazas, who are, again, in my division. Week 6, the Iowa Focus Energy. Week 7, the Washington Red Shells. Week 8, the Shadow Absols again. Week 9, Richmond Rayquazas again. And week 10, the Detroit Magnetons once more. So every divisional opponent, I'll be facing them twice. And then some other guys once. I'm not going to be fighting everybody. But yeah, there's certain teams around the league that I would love to see if I can make the playoffs. That'd be really cool. But there is going to be a lot of competition there. Hopefully, I'll get. I know the Shadow Absols didn't do amazing last time. The Magnetons and the Rayquazas are new to the league, but I think they've done leagues before. And looking at their teams, they drafted very well. I'm looking at the Rayquazas. They picked Mega Diancie, Keldeo, Serperior, Arcanine, Crocodile, Cofagrigus, Audino, Salamence, Reuniclus, Lucario, and Skuntank, which is a really, really nasty lineup. And let me go ahead and look at the Magnetons. They picked up Miltank, Mega Swampert, Tornadus Therian, Raikou, Kingdra, Galvantula, Jellicent, Klinklang, Politoed, Mamoswine, and Flygon. So they picked up a rain team. I took a rain team last time, but I didn't go all in on the rain. This guy did. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out for him. Luckily for me, I do have a really, really good lineup to counter that. I've got 3 electric types and and a Rotom Mo is one of them, who's going to be really, really good against rain. And then the last team is the the DMR Shadow Absols. They picked up, oh god, Mega Slowbro, Thundurus Incarnate, Mandibuzz, Chandelure, Machamp, Slurpuff, Electrode, Mew, Aerodactyl, Dualblade, and Ambipom. That is pretty nasty. He drafts really well. The play hasn't been there in recent years, although he did beat me last season, so I'm looking for a bit of revenge there. But yeah, Mega Slowbro is going to be really, really difficult to take down, even with my electric types, because it can just take hits. Looking at his team, I don't think he has a ground type. Yeah, he doesn't. So Volt Switch is definitely going to be good. Sorry, just looking at the Rayquazas, they only have Crocodile as their ground type, so that could be an issue for them as well. And of course, let's see, the Magnetons have Mega Swampert and Mamoswine, so that could be an issue. But yeah, anyways, if you want to check out some of the other teams, obviously, like I said, the links to everything will be in the description. I highly recommend checking out Gargleflop and Robotnik is Sexy. And some of the other guys do videos as well, but I know those two are very, very good Pokemon content creators, so check them out. Other than that, that's all I really got to say. So, yeah, I'll be seeing you later, guys. Hopefully, wish me luck in my matches. My first matchup, like I said, is going to be against Mr. Legendary Hero with his Indus Valley Infernapes. So check out his team, and yeah, hope you enjoy, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.